At California Lutheran College, the training camp of the Dallas Cowboys, Tom Landry faced a critical year. He no longer had the luxury of manning each position with veterans, so the question was how to blend the old and new Cowboys into a championship team.
They're Chargers now. They don't mess around. They come. Make them block you. Right over the top of them. Head on. Take off right through that gap. Let's go. Go hard, go hard, go hard. Okay, that's the way to find daylight. That's the way to find daylight. Okay, that's the way to go. That's the way to go.
323! 323!
Red dog fast, okay?
Hot! Hot!
That way. Okay, that's the boy. That's the way to go, okay? That's the way to go. That's Tatum. You better be ready, I tell you, when you go through there. If you get through there, you better holler, Tatum! Because he's going to come.
When training camp ended and the new season dawned, many observers had relegated the Cowboys to third place in the NFC's Eastern Division. Even in the minds of the players themselves, the delicate balance of youth and age, budding talent and seasoned veterans was still unresolved. 1973 would be a year of something old, something new for the Dallas Cowboys. Laced with a rich vein of raw talent, Tom Landry's Cowboys met the Chicago Bears in the season's first week. Mistakes told the tale of the game, and Dallas reaped a harvest of Chicago turnovers. Generaled by Roger Staubach, the Cowboys' offense unfurled something old and something new. The new was wide receiver Otto Stowe. The old was tried and true Bob Hayes, as Dallas edged Chicago 20-17. On Monday night, Dallas buried New Orleans under a barrage of touchdowns. Mike Montgomery and Robert Newhouse, two second-year Cowboys, spurred the 40-3 rout of the Saints. Against St. Louis in the third week, the Cowboys rode to victory behind the blocking of John Fitzgerald, Blaine Nye, John Nyland, Rodney Wallace, Ralph Neely, and Rayfield Wright. The new man on this young but veteran offensive line was rookie tight end Billy Joe Dupree, who caught 3 touchdown passes against the Cardinals. Dallas overwhelmed St. Louis 45-10, and after 3 games, the delicate balance of youth and age melded into 3 sweet victories. On Monday night, the first-place Cowboys went head-to-head with their bitter rivals, the Washington Redskins. It was toe-to-toe in the trenches as Doomsday howled in on blitzes and bulldozed Sonny Jurgensen. The front line of Bill Gregory, Pat Toomey, Larry Cole, Jethro Pugh, and Bob Lilly caved in Sonny's pocket, while Cornell Green, Mel Renfro, Charlie Waters, and Cliff Harris swarmed in from the secondary. Linebackers D.D. Lewis, Dave Edwards, Leroy Jordan, and rookie Rodrigo Barnes pinched in the middle. The Doomsday defense, every man a hitter. It was a brutal, bruising, scoreless game until some Starbuck passes and roughhouse runs bit deep into the Burgundy. On 2 well-aimed passes to sure-handed Otto Stowe, Dallas gained a hard-earned 7-0 lead. In the final 30 minutes, Washington tied the score, and with the game up for grabs, the Redskins snatched it away from Dallas. the defeat was a bitter one. Losing after almost certain victory had a sour after effect, as in week number 5, Dallas came up flat against the undefeated Rams. After a lightning start, the Rams stemmed a Cowboy comeback and sent Dallas reeling to its second straight loss, 37-31. With a 3-2 record, the dreams of a title were foundering. But in the 6th week, Tom Landry's resourceful team got well against the New York Giants. A blocked punt by rookie Billy Joe Dupree was recovered by D.D. Lewis for a touchdown and keynoted victory. All year long, Dupree had been a devastating force on special teams. But in the complex scheme of the Cowboy offense, his special talents made him a big play receiver. Although Dallas blistered past the Giants 45-28, the root of the Cowboys' problems was inconsistency. And this was never more evident than in their 7th game with the rebuilt Eagles. Philadelphia sent the Cowboys tumbling to their 3rd defeat, and the future looked bleak indeed. At mid-season, Dallas owned a lackluster 4-3 record. But one element of this young team that glistened was the offense, superbly directed by Roger Staubach. Staubach's knack for turning certain disaster into big gains was a big reason why the Cowboys averaged an incredible 30 points over the first 7 games. Staubach possesses quick feet, a stutter-stepping stride, and sure vision in the open field. The targets for Staubach and Craig Morton ranged from a gray beard like Bob Hayes to gray hounds like Drew Pearson, Mike Montgomery, and number 83, Golden Richards. At tight end, there was second-year man Gene Fugit and Rookie of the Year candidate Billy Joe Dupree. But the prime receiver through the first 7 games was willowy Otto Stowe, who burst from the crucible of Thousand Oaks into the season without breaking stride. When a broken ankle canceled Stowe's brilliant season, the Cowboys took off on the run. For most of 1973, Gutty Walt Garrison played hurt, but neither pain nor injury could stay the die-hard Cowboy. He's a player's player, a throwback to an age where there was no substitute for toughness. When Garrison and Calvin Hill missed games, their replacement was Robert Newhouse, and the offense never missed a beat. Newhouse is a 5'9", 200-pound dynamo who bounces, slides, squirms, and squiggles like a fish dangling at the end of a reel. Like Garrison and Newhouse, Calvin Hill is about as subtle as a punch in the mouth. For the second straight year, he gained more than 1,000 yards the hard way, by dishing out and receiving hits yard by yard. With a sizzling offense and a sputtering defense, the Dallas Cowboys entered the final 7 games with a cloudy future. But if there was a glimmer of hope for the Cowboys and their fans, it was the knowledge that at the midpoint of 1971, the year they won the Super Bowl, their record stood the same at 4-3. Against Cincinnati, the special teams led by Marv Bateman, Dave Manders, and Benny Barnes girded their strength and blew out the lean and hungry Bengals. The Cowboys flew past the stunned Bengals as Roger Staubach studied the defense with a jeweler's eye, then surgically dissected it. Dallas dispatched the Bengals 38-10, and then at the Yale Bowl, the Cowboys raced past the Giants 23-10. Back home at Texas Stadium, they gained revenge, and their third straight victory as they beat Philadelphia 31-10. Dallas was in cruising gear, and the tidal wave seemed to be cresting until it was dashed by the world champion Dolphins. Miami surged to a fast 2-touchdown lead and held on to win 14-7. After 3 easy victories, 1 defeat drained Cowboy optimism. A sense of forlorn despair drifted from the bench into the huddle. There seemed to be no more second chances for the Dallas Cowboys. With 3 tough games remaining against Denver, Washington, and St. Louis, the young Cowboys gathered strength, and the old ones summoned up the resolve to win. The Cowboys came to Denver with little bravado, but they came with a burning intensity to win. And all these forces were brought to bear against the Broncos as doomsday stifled Denver both short and deep. The game plan on offense was to pass, and it provided a blueprint for victory. Where once there was little spirit, there was now an abundance. And the afterglow of the Denver win burned through to the following Sunday, when Dallas faced Washington for the Eastern Division crown. Victory and the title hinged on the doomsday defense. And in an instant replay of the previous game in Washington, doomsday ravaged the Redskins in the first half. At halftime, a Tony Fritsch field goal gave Dallas a tenuous 3-0 lead. So Tom Landry decided to unveil the strategic play that ensured the Denver victory the previous week. The play was a misdirection rollout that isolated either a Dallas setback or tight end. When the Broncos covered the setback, Starbuck went to his tight end who roamed free and embarrassingly open. Against Denver, the strategy was foolproof, but the question remained whether it would fool the experienced Redskins. The question was answered with dramatic clarity as in the final 30 minutes, Starbuck showed the Washington Redskins everything but mercy. Off-play action, Starbuck rolled out and completely bewildered the Redskin defense. Starbuck cashed in on a rollout for a touchdown as Dallas won a convincing 27-7 victory and led the NFC East for the first time in 8 weeks. On the season's final Sunday in St. Louis, Dallas claimed the title outright. It was a day for the young as rookie Drew Pearson, number 88, put on a one-man show. Pearson caught 5 passes for 140 yards and scored his first 2 touchdowns of 1973. Dallas had clawed its way back to the top and entered the playoffs for a record-breaking 8th straight year. The catalyst in the stretch drive was the Doomsday defense, which allowed but 1 touchdown over the last 3 games. Doomsday was a fully coordinated mixture of youth and experience, and their motto was, when the whistle blows, everybody goes. It was a swarming, mauling defense, and where one tackler appeared, many were sure to follow. A defense that stretched out its tentacles and went all out for the football. In 1973, Dallas was a physical football team. They came and crunched, pursued and punished. They came 2 at a time, alone, or in waves and droves of white. There was something old and something new on defense. The new was Harvey Martin, number 79, a fast-pursuing, head-hunting defensive end from East Texas State. While Martin was the baby of the Doomsday defense, the headmaster was middle linebacker Leroy Jordan. Standing firm at the helm of the defense, Jordan had unquestionably his finest season. Jordan was always a sure and resolute tackler, but this year he buffed up his skills on pass defense and became the all-pro middle linebacker. Jordan flies headfirst into action and uses his helmet like the business end of a torpedo. With something new in Harvey Martin and something old in Leroy Jordan, the Dallas Cowboys entered the playoffs. Against the NFC Western champion Rams, Leroy Jordan made his presence felt when he intercepted a pass on the game's first play. Jordan's interception was converted into a Calvin Hill touchdown, and Dallas was off and winging. Something new and something old combined in the next series as young Pat Toomey stripped away a fumble and veteran Mel Renfro recovered. Under a state of siege, the Rams watched the Cowboys strike again as Roger Staubach studied the defense and then struck rookie Drew Pearson dead in the hands for 6 more. A 17-0 lead in a reservoir of overconfidence finally burst when Los Angeles chipped away at the margin and in the fourth quarter trailed Dallas by only a point, 17-16. With it 3rd and 14 from his 17-yard line and the game in the balance, Roger Staubach threw up a pass and a prayer. Both were answered by Drew Pearson. Dallas beat the Rams 27-16. And even though it lost to the Vikings a week later for the NFC Championship, the defeat did not dampen their achievements in 1973. The season, the Eastern Championship, and the playoff victory were tributes to a team that was written off by many before 1973 began. But the Dallas Cowboys hung together, and by the end of the year, this spirited team of young and old, rookies and veterans, marched to a 10-4 record. Next year, this mix of something old and something new just might blend into something super.